it's not fun. It's not easy. It wears the shit out of you. And the last thing I wanted to do was get up and roll out of bed and go to boxing, but I did. And I'm going to go weight lift after this stream. I'm going to go hit the gym because I got to keep my lifting up. Even though I don't want to, I'd rather be comfortable. I'd rather be chilling. I'd rather get some rest, but I know that I have to do what I've got to do. And that comes from me thinking like, there's somebody out there that's trying to beat me. There's somebody out there that's coming for what I have. And it's true. It really is. Even though you might not know who they are, you might not know their name, but we're all competing for the same things. I mean, even guys that are in this space with Rich and I, guys that are competing for the attention of and the eyeballs of guys that are unplugged and the guys that are in this sort of space. Because I know you guys, like for the most part, people watch more than one creator in the space. Like I recognize that. Like most people are not just watching Rich. Some guys are. Some guys are like, yeah, it's just us. It's just Rich, just the Unplugged Alpha channel, whatever, Mano Swamp. But there's some guys who are like, oh, I like this guy, I like this guy, I like this guy, I like this guy. And that's fine. I'm fine with it. But there's guys that are competing with the same eyeballs. There's guys that are trying to build communities like we're building and that are competing with the same kind of guys. And so we have to be better than them. And that is something that the power of your mind and the power of the stories you tell yourselves. Like I've talked about this a lot. And this is an instant, and you guys know by now that I am a proponent of believing things that are true. I want to find the truth. If something is true, that's one of the more important things to me. If not, does this thing make me feel good? Does this give me good flutter feelings inside? Does this sound pleasing to me? Therefore, I'm going to buy into it. I am very much the kind of guy that's like, I want to know if this thing is true. I could not care less if this thing makes me feel good, if it's false for most things. But this is an instance where the truth might not serve you. And the truth actually might hinder your growth and it might hinder your ability to get to that next level. Because again, I was talking to this client of mine, this coaching client, and he's like, man, I wish it was 18 months ago where I had my back against the wall and I was just crushing it. I had no other option. I was super productive. We started making a ton of money. I was putting in 18-hour days like it was nothing. And he's like, now, we're not growing like that. We're kind of just coasting, but I'm not able to put in the same kind of work and the capacity to get to that next level. Like things are going okay, but they're not, so it behooves that person and you guys to create that external stimulus. Like you've got to create those demons. Sometimes those demons don't exist. I'm not saying go and wreck your life, like sell your house, sell your car, break up with your girlfriend, divorce your wife, like go live in a shack, like sell all your worldly possessions, go blow all your money gambling in Vegas, and then get to rock bottom and say, okay, now I'm ready to start putting in the work. Like it's a huge unnecessary risk. Maybe if you're willing to do that, go for it. But it's not something I would generally recommend. I think what would be the smarter route, and I think what would work better for people is using the power of the stories you tell yourself. I talk about this a lot. Like what you tell yourself can become your reality. I've told the story a bunch of times where, when I first broke up and when my ex first broke up with me, I don't know, God, 5 years ago at this point, whatever it was, started going out on dates. I was still living with her at the time. That would inevitably come up in conversations with new girls. And they'd say, oh, like, what's your living situation? Like, oh, like I still live with my ex-girlfriend, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, and then of course they would be like, oh, what's up with that? They're trying to say, oh, is this guy, is he on the rebound? Is he just using me to get back at? They're trying to make sure that I'm not, running around or cheating or whatever. And I would just straight up lie. I would just say, oh yeah, she's a great girl. We just didn't work out, like whatever. All these dumb little things that you guys tell themselves or that people tell themselves to avoid the truth, which is like the actual truth was, I hate her guts. She sucks. I hope she falls in a ditch on her way home. Like if she got hit by a bus, I wouldn't shed a tear. I'd be like, sweet. At least that's how I didn't actually believe in you. That's how I felt in the moment. But what I told these girls, I was like, oh yeah, great girl. It just didn't work out. We're just better off as friends, blah, 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 blah. And it was all BS. Like I was lying. because I was trying to get laid by new girls, or I just didn't want new chicks to think that they were on the rebound or I was on the rebound, however you say it. And eventually I went out on enough dates and I went out enough times and I sort of told that story over and over and over because I kept coming up, at least for the first couple months, 3, 4 months, 5 months, maybe whatever. But eventually I took a step back and I realized, I said, hey, this is actually not a lie anymore. Like I actually am over this chick. Like I actually, the stuff I'm saying necessarily isn't true. Like I didn't think she's a good person. I didn't think that she, is a great girl and we're better off. Blah, blah, blah. Like all that stuff is BS. But I at least didn't let that stuff have power over me anymore. And I see a lot of guys will fall into these ruts and guys will fall into these issues where they'll break up with a girl will break up with them. Honestly, more often than not, and they'll say like, "Oh, I don't know what to do, man. She was the best I ever had, like best lay I ever had. I'm never gonna find another girl like her. She was perfect in every way." And guys will create this narrative, and what guys love to do is build up this idealized version of this woman in their brains who is not like that at all. And everything they tell themselves, like none of that stuff serves you. And even if it's the truth, even if this guy was with a girl who was just his perfect chick, didn't ever do anything, he never had anything like that before, never had this kind of relationship, did backflips in the bedroom, like whatever you want to call it. And then he lost her, he screwed up and she left him. Even if all that stuff is true, it doesn't serve him to ruminate and actually continue to buy in to those facts. That's it. What would actually serve him is if he found a way to build himself up into the idealized version of himself and say, you know what? It wasn't that this chick was super good in bed. It's that I'm good in bed and I can make any girl good in bed because I'm good in bed. Or it wasn't because this was the perfect girl. It's because I'm the man, and any girl that now comes into my life is going to fall into my frame, is going to do what I say. I'm going to take the lead. I'm the man. I can take any girl that I want and I can make her fall into my frame and she will fall into my leadership. Because guess what? Over enough times, over enough of those instances, and if you kind of put that into the universe, and you guys know like I'm not big on the woo-woo stuff and I don't really know what else to call it. But you put that out there enough into the universe and it can become your reality. And you start embodying that. Like the fake it till you make it thing, I get it. You have to go and put the action first. And this is the caveat. A lot of guys are going to hear this and think that I'm saying, hey man, just tell yourself you're the man and you'll be the man. You've got to tell yourself you're the man, but then you've actually got to go out there and start carrying yourself like you're the man. You have to actually back these things up with your actions. You actually have to command leadership, hold frame, draw and hold healthy boundaries. You can't go into romantic relationships. You can't go into networking opportunities thinking that I'm the dude, I'm that guy, and then you have no way to back it up because then you just look crazy. You look like a fraud. So, what could really help guys in this situation and what could help people in this situation is creating that boogeyman, creating that enemy, rejecting these ideas. Like, stop telling yourself that things are going okay. Stop telling yourself that things are fine. We just have to be patient. We've got to, wait for this to come in. My ship will come in at some point. I just got to keep doing what I'm doing. I got to keep doing this. You don't have time for that. And it doesn't serve you, because if things are fine and you're not risking losing anything and you don't have the fear of your back against the wall or somebody coming and trying to take what you have and then use it against you, you're just not naturally going to be incentivized to go and get more. Because again, we know how the human brain works. You are so much less likely to want to continue climbing the rungs of the ladder solely to get more then you are going to be motivated if you're climbing a rope and somebody lights the other end of it and says, time to start climbing higher. Like, I'm halfway up the rope. This is pretty cool. At least I'm not on the ground. I might not be up all the way at the top, but that's fine. I can still see much farther from here. I can chill. I'm good. I don't, it's painful to continue climbing. And I've already made it this far. And that's enough. I'm halfway up the rope. That's pretty cool. I'm good with it. So what most people need to do is have somebody metaphorically or take it themselves and take a lighter and say, nope, I'm going to light the other end of this rope. And if you don't get to the top, guess what's going to happen? The rope's going to burn and it's going to burn through your hands and you're going to fall and you're going to die.
All right, guys, I really hope that you enjoyed that clip. If you want to check out the full-length podcast episode, you can find that right over here. Also, make sure you visit my website over here where you'll find my supplements, the opportunity to book me privately one-on-one for coaching, and most importantly, my new School of Unplugging, which you'll find on the courses tab. Newer to the channel, hit subscribe.